Alright, so the idea here is that this flange that we just bent with the sheet metal brake, this actually needs to point forward like that in the light. So the lens is right here. So now what we need to do is put another bend in this metal to get this face pointing forward. So there we go. We got our little flange here pointing forward. That you can see is the profile of our little piece of metal. So now we'll go start reassembling everything. So we got our two new flanges in place. Now we need to mark our little mounting holes for the little LED bar to screw it to this plate. So just kind of center it up. All you really kind of got to do is just this little notch here in the center, line it up with this hole right here and this one down here, and you've got it pretty well centered. It doesn't need to be super 100% centered. So I take my little scratch tool, because this hole is too small for a center punch to fit in there. So I'm just scratching a little area, and I'll come back and center punch that in a minute. Okay, so I center punched my little holes. You saw me scratch them, get a mark. I went in and I center punched those holes. And what I'm going to use, I'm not reusing the original screws. What I'm using are number 6 by 1/2 inch long, self-tapping, self-drilling, whatever you want to call them, sheet metal screws. So I'm going to make a couple holes, get these screws in there, and then we'll get our little LED bar mounted to our plate. Okay, so we got our little LED light bar attached to our bracket. Just one thing to note, I actually cut off that little tab that was originally bent upwards, or kind of at a 45-degree angle. It was interfering with some stuff inside the case, so I just went ahead and cut that off. So if you want to do that to start with, you can. I think I mentioned that earlier. So anyway, we're ready to start wiring these up, and of course we flagged this wire right here and the corresponding wire on the little circuit board. So I'm going to start with this one. This is going to be our new 12-volt feed to our backup light. This is the wire that's going to come down and connect to the reverse light wire on the wiring harness and activate our reverse light. So I'm just going to go ahead and reuse the red wire that came in the kit. It's got this little brass terminal on the end of it, just a little like, I don't even know what kind of terminal that's called, but we don't need it, so we'll just cut that off. Then we'll strip the wire, and again, using a heat shrinkable butt connector, we'll get it connected to the little LED light bar.